Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chase News, and I will be your host, Austin Stone Cold, with your co-host,
Kyle Shahid.
Then we will have various interns as well, who you'll meet later. For those of you not familiar with our channel, as this is our first video, we will be hosting a bi-weekly, so every other week, right, news program that talks about the news that's currently going on and puts a funny spin on it. We are not to be taken seriously. We are just joking about most of this. The news is real, however, a lot of the things we say are meant to be comedy. Okay? And we will also have a game show that will be coming later this summer, featuring the three of us with some guests periodically, and possibly another show hosted by Chase. Anyways, back to the news. Chase News. Gleam.
Gleam.
Gleam. Okay. The topics for today. We will be going over our political test results and reviewing that. And then we will have weather.
With me!
With Kyle Shahid here. And then we will show you an interview of an intern, just in case any of you out there would like to intern for Chase News.
Or care about him.
Gleam. Okay. Good.
Next we'll have COVID numbers with the map, of course. All USA.
And then we will go into health with the interns. The interns have provided us a health tip, basically, to help you build your immunity and survive COVID, which will lead right into the discussions about masks and how to wear them properly and how many is needed.
And after that, we will have sports with same intern.
The interns have again generously provided us this sports whatever. Then we have the insult of the day with
me again.
And then after that, we'll be talking about transgenders in sports, whether that be male to female or female to male, and how they line up, and what our personal thoughts are on that as well. Finally, we'll be wrapping up with our apocalyptic event survival guide. This week specifically, we will be teaching you how to survive
the zombie apocalypse.
All the tips and tools you'll ever need. So please stay tuned every single week, as that will be changing.
I'm blowing up this mic. I said, I hope I'm blowing up this mic by just yelling at it. I want to scream at them.
All right. First thing we're going to do is watch cut over now to the political test.
I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Nope.
Chase?
Disagree.
Yeah, disagree.
No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I disagree.
I strongly disagree.
I as well strongly disagree. Next question. People are ultimately divided by class than by nationality. Or more. I completely skipped the more.
So people are divided more on what?
In class than nationality. So if you're rich, you're more likely to be friends with somebody who's another rich person from a different country.
I strongly agree
than
with that.
you are to be. I read that right? Ultimately more divided by class than nationality.
Yeah.
I would disagree with that.
Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
What do you think here, Kyle?
What does it mean by inflation?
Are you serious?
I know what it means. I'm just saying, like, is it just talking about like the inflation for like how much people get paid, or like?
Yeah. So, do you think it's more important to keep the dollar bill worth $1?
More?
Yeah, worth more than what it it is, or whatever, or can be anyways, or do you think it's more important to employ more people in the workforce? Which one do you think is more important?
Well, if you just employ, I think inflation's more important. So I guess
Okay,
that
so
would be,
agree or strongly?
I just agree with it.
Just agree. I also we'll go strongly. Actually, I guess on that.
All right. The freer the market, the freer the people. Yeah, I don't know about that
I would
one.
say that's probably more going out.
All right,
I
JJ.
agree with it.
I strongly agree.
You missed
it. Yeah.
Damn it. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold.
Okay, just want to make sure because I think I lost all understanding of you. If that was, I strongly disagree.
All right.
The rich are too highly taxed. Damn straight.
Anyone else? Anyone else rich here?
Strongly disagree.
Austin, you rich?
No. Wait a minute. This seems like a backwards thing. Oh no. Okay.
The
Never
rich are
mind.
too
No,
highly
I do agree. I just agree that they're too highly taxed.
Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care.
Damn straight.
Yeah, kind of. Cheers.
I strongly disagree.
I figured he was going to. I strongly agree. Abortion, when the woman's life is not in threat, should always be illegal.
I disagree.
Chais?
Wait, so it's pretty much saying that abortion should be illegal?
If the woman is not threatened.
Yeah, I strongly agree.
All right.
I
Austin?
just disagree. I think incest should be on that list as well. Being serious.
All of schools should not make classrooms attendance compulsory. I don't need to go there every day. I don't need to show. What?
I strongly agree.
Okay.
I think you should have to go to school.
It said schools should not make.
Should not make it. So you strongly disagree.
I strongly disagree, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go with agree.
You have to go to school.
I disagree.
Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Hell yeah.
Yes.
You,
you missed.
But
you
I
missed
strongly agree as well.
Oh, I highlighted the
You
T.
highlighted the T. Missed it.
Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not be expected society support. Yeah.
Those are who are able to work?
Able to work but refuse the opportunity.
I strongly agree that that's not okay.
Austin.
I do the opposite of you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I strongly agree.
Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. I don't think so.
I agree.
You agree?
I strongly agree.
Alright. Although the electronic age makes official
Surveillance.
give me time. I was just getting past official surveillance easier. Only
Wrongdoings.
wrongdoings.
Wrongdoers.
Wrongdoers need to be worried. Do you think wrongdoings need to be worried, Chase?
Or do you think
I think everyone should be worried, so
Okay.
strongly.
Alright.
I strongly disagree as well. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all.
I kind of agree.
I strongly agree with that.
I
Just
strongly
throwing some lines
agree
on
with
a
that,
page
too.
does not make it art.
In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
I disagree. Go.
Fuck off!
Do you think we should punish people more or try to fix them?
I think it could be helped. Chase?
Like this is like it depends on what they did.
Doesn't depend for
It
me.
doesn't say that.
I strongly disagree.
Oh, strongly.
I strongly agree. Punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Astrology astrology accurately explains many things.
What things?
Astrology, like that you're like I'm a Capricorn. I don't know what the hell you guys
no.
are, but
I'm Gemini.
Gemini. There you go.
Pisces.
Alright, Chase, what do you think?
Well, that explains
sorry.
things? No, it's
Strongly
stupid.
disagree.
I strongly
Strongly disagree as well. I think it is dumb.
Bad marriage
This is marriage
is usually immoral.
Is
it bad to do it?
Usually immoral? It's usually what? That seems like weird. It is or it isn't. I feel like for most
Chase,
people.
Religious man.
It's not okay to do that, so I guess that would be strongly agree, right?
Yeah.
Is immoral because it's okay.
Because you think it's immoral.
I disagree strongly.
Yeah.
What, you guys think cheating's okay?
Welcome to hell.
No, it's not.
No, it's
saying
not cheating.
It's like
I could
sex
hire a
before
prostitute
marriage.
right now.
Oh, yeah, that
I'm not getting married.
Are you changing your answer?
Put it to disagree. Just
Agree.
No, I heard just agree.
Just
Disagree.
Yeah.
Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population.
Pornography? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
sure.
Porn should be legal.
Yeah, porn
Yes
should
or
be
no?
legal.
It's already legal.
It's not asking if it's already legal. It's asking if it should be. Do you think it should be or not?
It should be
Yeah,
legal.
Chase's laptop
I
depends on
agree.
it.
Exactly.
As
My
well.
freaking thing depends on it.
What, your dick?
What goes in a what goes on in a private bedroom between two consenting assaults is no business of the state.
I don't agree.
So pretty much whatever happens in the bedroom is none of the business of the state. That's
Right.
pretty much is that.
Yep.
I strongly agree.
Consenting adults. That's the key word.
Yeah.
I strongly agree as well. These days, openness about sex has gone too far.
I disagree.
I strongly
I strongly agree as well.
Alright.
All right,
Let's see
Kyle,
where I land.
let's see what we got here.
Where the
Okay,
fuck
you're gonna
am
have
I?
to scroll down a bit because it just talks about stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm left.
Left libertarian slightly. You're actually
barely.
way further left than I was expecting you to be.
Yay.
So what does that exactly mean?
I don't fucking know.
It means he would support Democrats. Democrats, my bad.
Democrats. Yeah.
What about me?
Whoa, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm so left. I knew I was gonna be left. I didn't think it
Left
was that left.
authoritarian.
And Austin.
Republicans, man.
I have no idea. Ooh.
And he's slightly right.
Authoritarian. Yeah. I kind of actually figured you were going to be more... I was expecting more authoritarian, honestly, than what I am there.
You're pretty much in the center.
Yeah. I don't think that I really 100% agree with that. But, I mean, it's pretty close. I don't know.
Because the questions are a little off.
I knew
think.
I was going
Yeah.
to be over here. I knew I was going to be up. So I'm where I thought I was going to be.
Why? That's not at all Republican.
What?
Left?
Left?
Yeah, the left is Democrat.
Yeah, but I knew I was
Right.
going to be over here, though. Up there. For
Oh, yeah. I honestly figured I would be a little bit higher on the authoritarian as well, but and a little bit more to the right, but not
Yeah,
that much.
libertarian. Woo.
But yeah,
Libtards.
you're about where I expected you to be.
So you're the only Republican, pretty much?
Yeah, and then you're super Democratic, apparently, which is actually very surprising to me.
Over here.
I mean, Welcome back. Wasn't that exhilarating to watch three grown men take a political test? Now we're going to go on to the weather for all of the United States. So this probably is helpful to almost no one. Anyways.
Not even me. Welcome to the weather with me, Kyle. And now, let's start off to the right over here. We'll see about, look, Maine's cold. Maine's in Fahrenheit Celsius. That's just cold. What'd you expect? It's up in the north. But over here, down in New York, still in Fahrenheit 55, it's getting a little bit warmer. That's okay. And Ohio, don't know what's going on with Ohio, but that's still in Fahrenheit and they're cold too. How did New York not get cold? That doesn't make any sense to me. But up here, 58 in Wisconsin and Minnesota, they're sharing it. Doesn't make any sense. Because Maine's still cold over here. Then as we go into California, and no one cares about California, now let's go down to, down in Texas here. So shifted a little bit to the left. At 93, a perfect 93, just as Texas weather should be. Not too hot, but just right. And as we go along the line here, North Dakota, That's in Kelvin. That's 16. Don't even understand that. But Montana, Seattle, Washington, they're around the same. That's okay. And that's a nice Celsius, nice little warmth going on up there. Now Nebraska, down here, yeah, they're in hell. You got down here in South Carolina, they're fighting with hell. 2 different portals of hell. Alright, we're gonna blow past Louisiana and go down to Florida, and it's a nice hot. Nice for Florida. Go down there. Screw everywhere else. Just go down to Florida. And that'll wrap it up for weather. Now back to me and the other guy.
Thank you, Kyle, for those wonderful predictions of the weather this week. Now we will head into that intern interview.
You should look at me when you say that.
I'm talking to the audience. Alright? Jeez, okay.
I am right here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thank you, Kyle, for that wonderful weather report that you gave us. Now we will be going into the interview with the intern, so that way you all know what you have to expect if you apply for our internship. Hello, Kevin. So you want a job at Hot Chase News? Well,
Yeah, man, it'd be really cool.
Great. We just have a few questions here to ask you, and depending on how good you do on them, we can definitely get you a job. We do have a few available spots, so, all right. My associate here, Kyle, is going to go ahead and just read you the first question.
All right.
What are the 2 major political parties in the United States?
That's a great question. I would have to say, definitely the Democrats. Retardicans.
Okay, next question. That was, what is one right that United States citizens have?
The right to hang 10, man!
Alright. Do you have a better answer?
The right to tell people off. Yeah.
Alright, we will take it. Freedom of speech. Good.
In what month do we vote for the president?
November.
Who makes federal laws?
The president?
The big cheese?
That is incorrect. Kyle, would you care to give him the correct answer?
No.
Okay, it's Congress.
Who's that?
What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens?
Responsibility. We have those?
I'll give you some choices. Pay taxes, serve on jury, obey the law, or be respectful to others.
No, it's definitely not the last one. Nah, I don't pay taxes, so I don't need to worry about that. Can't be the answer. I guess show up for judge.
Serve on jury?
Yeah, that. Whatever you said.
Alright. Next question.
What, was that right?
Yes. That's what the mini claps are for.
Yeah, mini claps.
What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful?
Guns.
I'm going to give it to him. Checks and balances. Next question. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the...
9/11.
Yes, that is the day that we just told you about, yes.
I don't know, some dude hijacked a plane. Just shoved it right into a building.
Some dude hijacked a plane and shoved it into a building. Alright. Next question. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Conservation, women's suffrage, prohibition, or civil rights movement?
It's definitely the civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. Next question.
What is the rule of law?
Thanks, Becky.
What people follow? I don't... What? Can you use it in a sentence?
What is the rule of law? That's the sentence.
Jim the other day asked me, what is the rule of law?
The process of making laws. I don't fucking know. What kind of questions are these?
Is it A, B, C, or D?
Definitely it's D. It's always D.
Are you sure? Well, that is true. It is. That is D. You actually got it wrong technically, but I say that it's right. What is the rule of law? Everybody except the government has to follow the law. That's what D was, and I think that's right. So we're gonna give it to him. All right. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? Eisenhower. President Eisenhower.
Civil War?
Civil War?
Damn.
That is way wrong. Yeah.
Revolutionary War.
World War II.
No, it's definitely Revolution.
He was
He was like 20. The Revolutionary War, definitely.
he was 20 during the Revolutionary War. He was the 20th president, and he served during the Revolutionary War.
Yep.
Right. That's a
Good for
minus 7 points there.
When was the Declaration of Independence adopted?
When? Or where?
When?
1812. The War of 1812. July 23rd, 1876.
Alright, I think I know what job he's getting. Just go ahead and choose the one that's closest to that. I don't know how you it's probably the top one. I don't know how you possibly didn't know when our Declaration of Independence was adopted, and I feel really bad for you, sir. Next question.
Can I at least have the answer?
July 4th, 1776.
You know, the 4th of July, we celebrate it.
When our country... I mean, somehow you got July right, and I don't know where you came with 23rd. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms?
April 2nd.
Close. April 15th.
That's a month.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Close. Next question.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s.
Oh, he's not going to get this one.
One war.
One war.
War of 1812.
What are two rights of everyone living in the United States?
The right to say shit and the right to shoot shit.
Well, you don't really have the right to shoot shit.
Who's in charge of the executive branch?
The executives. The country.
What's your answer? You can't just list off things. There are 3 branches of government.
Federal.
Who is in...
The president? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
the fucking goddamn president.
I don't know. Can you click it? I don't know. It probably, yeah. Oh, what is the political party of the president now?
Executives.
What's the political party?
The Democrats.
What did the Declaration of Independence do?
Gave us our foundation for our country. Gave us our freedoms. What?
Revolutionary War.
Man, that's bad cough.
Yeah.
No, like, I don't understand. Like, how is that? Like, what is the question?
What did the Declaration of Independence do?
It gave us a foundation for us to build a
What
country
did the
and break away
Declaration
from-
of Independence do?
I guess that, but
What?
it did more than just make us able to go to war with someone and break free from.
All right, he got that wrong. It was we declared our independence from Great Britain.
You know,
Why did the colonists fight the British?
to get their independence.
Any other particular reasons you might think of, like specific things?
Taxation, the representation.
Okay, taxation. What else? Anything else, or was it just taxes?
I'm just gonna go with that.
Just taxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrong.
So it was a little bit more than that, but taxes is really the biggest one. The British were storing actual military people in people's houses, so that was one reason we wanted to break away from that. That's why you have, I believe it is the Fourth Amendment, and then also we really didn't have any control over what the king did with said taxes, right? So we had no representation. Okay, so those are just the big things. We'll give you half credit on that. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
23.
23. Oh shit.
Is that right?
No.
What? How many is it?
I'm shocked that you actually guessed an answer. It's 27. Okay. We'll discuss how this interview went.
It went amazing.
Yeah, totally. These are the big trash bag bit for sure. Thank you for your time. You're definitely hired because we need people. So, yep, we've already got a spot for you, right? What do you think?
No, I think he's good.
Yeah, on that.
Rocket.
That thing we talked about?
Yeah.
Alrighty, good. Thank you. Get out of here. We didn't hire that guy.
God, I hope not.
I really hope. Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thank you for viewing that wonderful interview. Anyways, now we are going to go and discuss the COVID numbers. So we're going to look at the COVID map provided by Johns Hopkins University, and we're going to talk about some different things on there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for the COVID numbers and cases. Again, we are specifically going to be focusing on just the United States. As you can see here, first off, we have the United States with a total number currently at 32,566,849. Big number, big number. And finally, then we have about 500,000 people in the United States. I'm sorry, not 500,000. 500 million tests have been distributed in the United States, which is more than our entire population. A little odd. Global death toll, United States death toll is at 500,000 as well now. 579,000 Americans are dead due to COVID. Finally, we're going to look at, some of the states in particular. Obviously, we have California, which also has the highest population in the United States with the highest number of cases. And the highest number of tests being administered. Some people believe that more tests means more cases. That just makes sense, as considering there have been tests that have gone out and that we've given to fruits, and they've come back positive. I don't know how a fruit has COVID, but it has definitely happened. Look it up. Also a goat. A goat got tested for COVID, and he had it. Crazy. That poor goat. Probably dead now. Huh.
I wonder if he was counting the cases.
He was counting the cases. New York coming in at fourth place for the number of COVID cases in all of United States, and the second most number of tests.
Probably testing those sewer gators.
Damn sewer gators. So interestingly enough, though, Florida, which has never had a mask mandate whatsoever, is not chart topping. Now, per capita, I don't know who's higher, okay? I didn't do the math. And I don't really care to. Either way, it's just interesting to see that California is still has a million more cases than Florida does. And Florida's never had a mask mandate, which will bring us into our next topic a bit later about masks. But for right now, as you can just see, there are some of the case numbers. Obviously, the states with the higher populations typically have the higher number of cases. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here's another little view of the map that you can see here. So this is, the darker the blue something is, the more people have died per 100,000 people. So as you can see, actually, it seems like Texas. And here's another map showing a bit of the new cases by pop. As you can see, actually, it seems like a lot more of the interstates here are getting a lot more COVID cases more recently. Oregon and Washington as well. Up there getting some. But it really seems like Oklahoma and Colorado, and then Wyoming and Montana.
It's migrating.
Seem to be getting it the hardest. Actually, quite a bit in Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, and southern New York. It looks like a lot more cases popping up there. It seems like California's doing pretty good, actually. Not too many new cases right now forming. Why is this not? There we go. Not too many new cases forming in California or Texas, even, really, for that matter. Then we got a good bit down in Tampa and Miami. Let's see here. But, yeah, New York, city of New York, looks pretty fine. Then we got some Rhode Island and Connecticut, actually. Wow, those are dark red right there, huh?
Rhode Island's too small.
Look at that. This province here. Yeah, Rhode Island. Lot of cases compared to the rest of the world here. Or rest of the United States, anyways. Coming out here.
Oh, okay, so it is. I thought
Yeah.
I thought that was still small compared.
Yeah, it does seem like a small number. 178 new cases, it seems like, popped up there. What about, what is this place here? Is this New Jersey?
Yep.
It is New Jersey. Okay, so that's not New York, so I thought that was New York. Oh, I don't know. I'm clicking on buttons. Anyways, guys, so those are your COVID numbers as of today and this week. It seems, for the most part, that we've been able to...
As accurate as we hope it to be.
As you can see, the COVID numbers have been going down progressively because COVID, coronavirus, is similar to the common flu in that it's a respiratory virus, and it is most effective during the winter. So now that we are getting into warmer seasons, the transmission of it will be a lot harder, and it will not be as fast.
Now let's go out and inject people with it.
Thank you guys for tuning into this segment, and we will catch you guys on the next segment. We will now go over to health with the interns. The daily health tip with the intern.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Joshua for Hunt Chase News. We're going to do my pre-workout drink here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some chocolate. Need some soy sauce. Yeah. Got to get a healthy amount. I get some vanilla wafers. Flame out Cheetos, most important. And make sure you have enough liquid in here. We got some water. I just love this drink. Alright, so let's put a lid on here. Turn around. Put it on the lid. And just puree the shit out of it. I think that's good. Alright. Yeah, doesn't that look good? I just love this drink. Once a week makes everything better. Alright, back to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that health tip as much as me and Kyle here did. Now we are going to be talking about masks, how to properly wear them, and the best and most efficient ways and such. So Kyle Thied here will be showing you the proper way to put on a mask. So go ahead and take a mask here, Kyle. So first thing you want to do is you want to fluff it out. Get all of the extra area, as much surface area as you can pulled up, almost like an accordion, right? And then you're going to take the two straps and you're going to pull them as wide as you can get them and take it and push it over top of your nose and your mouth, and then bring the straps around to the back of your ear. Now, give them a side view of your head there so they know what the mask or what the straps looks like. Okay, great. Now the next thing, you want to make sure you don't do exactly what he's doing right now, which is touching the front of it. That is very, very bad. That's how you get COVID, okay? And he's going to die here later on tonight if he's not careful. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to, if your mask comes with it, take that little metal thing and secure it around your nose. So go ahead and show them how to do that. So you want to push it down so that way it's tight against your nose and stuff like that. And that way when you start talking, it doesn't move off of your nose and it doesn't come down. And you are protecting everybody and everything around you as best you can. Now, this is just a surgical mask. This is not an N95 mask, which is recommended for not spreading diseases. Okay, this will help stop water droplets basically from coming out of your mouth, but will not stop everything. That will not stop everything that you would expect it to. You're gonna break him. Now we're going to go over to our president having a conversation about masks outside and such.
CDC guidance this week about outdoor mask wearing. A lot of folks excited that they can now shed these masks if they've been double vaccinated. Are you going to be one of these folks now? Are we no longer going to see the President of the United States outside with a mask on?
Sure. I mean, but what I'm going to do, though, because the likelihood of my being able to be outside and people not come up to me is not very, very high. So it's like, look, you and I took our masks off when I came in because look at the distance we are. But if we were, in fact, sitting there talking to one another close, I'd have my mask on, and I bet you'd have a mask, even though we've both been vaccinated. And so it's a small precaution to take that has a profound impact. It's a patriotic responsibility, for God's sake. It's making sure that your wife, your children, if in fact they haven't been vaccinated, making sure that they're not going to get sick.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a patriotic decision to wear your mask, outside, inside, no matter how far apart you are from people. So, very patriotic. Do keep that in mind, that it's patriotic. The president says so. It's very patriotic to wear your mask. Now, one thing that we're going to also talk about is the number of masks that's appropriate to be on your face. And we're going to go ahead and look at that here in just a sec.
So if you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely would be more effective. And that's the reason why you see people either double masking or doing a version of an N95.
So much coverage.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the first video, or the second video. As you can see here, me and Kyle Shathid here have decided that it has been a very good idea to continue to add to our mask coverages here that we have. As you saw,
COVID going through here.
Dr. Anthony Fauci did say the more masks the better. Two masks makes common sense. So why not have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 masks on. If 2 is better than 1, then 5 is better than 1. Then 5 is better than 2. I'm going to continue going on here. My partner here is as well going to continue onwards. Hopefully it's not too hard to hear me. Whew. I can already tell it is becoming a little bit harder to breathe here. But we are going to get through this. And my dog is actually very concerned, as he can tell there is something clearly wrong with my voice. That he is worried that I am not breathing properly at this point. And it definitely seems like he is now coming around to ensure that I am okay. This is Reese, by the way. And, oh, very nice. Keep it up. Don't you worry. That COVID's not going to get through. While we continue to put on more and more masks, we had our interns go out to the streets to try to find the best way to stop COVID. And our intern has said that he has found the best way to stop COVID from spreading. So we are now going to go over to him live on the streets.
What's up, everybody? I'm the intern, Kevin. We're coming out your side with this beautiful property here. We're going to show you how to properly protect yourselves from the COVID virus. You know, masks, they're great and all, but they aren't as powerful and as protective as these trash bags, all right? These things can protect you from pretty much anything COVID related. If people cough on you, it doesn't even get through. You know, you can throw tables, chairs, nothing gets through these plastic bags, all right? So, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna demonstrate how you do this by, fill it up with air. Perfect thing, guys. Fill it up with air. Now, once you got a good airflow in there, set up the wind, make sure you get all it full. All right, now you just gotta plop this beautiful bag over your head. Nothing will happen. All right, let's get this started. See, nothing's gonna get through here, right? Alright, so we're all good. Alright, back to you guys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. And we are so glad to know that intern has found a productive way, other than putting on so many masks here, to protect you from COVID. I am currently up to 10 masks. My co-host here, Kyle Shafid, is up to probably 12 or so. He's right around there at this point. We are almost out of masks. This is a pandemic here. We are in a massive pandemic. We need as many masks as possible. And clearly our last president didn't handle it very well. Or so people say. I don't know. Either way, though, I have myself on 10 masks. I think I'm done here. Whew! It's hard to breathe. But I'm making through. Everybody's safe in this, in our studio here. And, we are so glad to see that it's just common sense to just keep wearing more masks. I've seen something that said 2 masks makes sense, and then I saw something that said 3 masks makes even more sense. It was like 1 mask is like 50% effective, so 2 is 75, and then 3 is 90%. So I figure, why the hell not just keep on going?
Well, then I'm a goddamn juggernaut.
He's a juggernaut from the COVID. Our interns, though, said that they have found 100% sure way to make sure that COVID cannot penetrate them. And we just saw that in the last clip. We're going to go to them one more time. It's been about 5-10 minutes or so. And we're going to see how that COVID... I don't even remember what I'm saying. I'm so lightheaded now. We're going to see how
Blinking hurts.
We're going to see... Oh, fuck. How well... their new method of COVID protection actually did. So we're going to now cut back over live to Intern on the streets. Intern? Okay, we're going to cut away from that.
Right out there.
It looks as, for those of you who can't see, it looks as if he died from COVID. I'm sorry to say this. We're going to review the tape a bit further. They said that they found a sure 100% way to not die to COVID. So I can't imagine that he did. So we're going to have to see what happened. They're going to get some information back to us. Please stay tuned, as we will now be going on to the next segment.
What up? I'm Intern Craig. This is my March Madness bracket. This is going to be 100%. 100% accurate. All right, we're going to do some highlight games here. We're going to show you which team's going to win the very first game. We got Norfolk Street versus Gonzaga. Norfolk's going to cream them. Gonzaga's not even going to get 100 points in this game. All right, another highlight. We got Virginia versus Ohio. Virginia's going to get in the lead at the beginning of the game, third quarter. Ohio's going to take the lead again, and Virginia's just barely going to squeeze in there, free throw, and just make it so their team wins. All right, and then another one, we got Texas versus Michigan. Texas is going to squeeze in there again with a three-pointer at the very last second of the game. All right, we got BYU and the UCLA. You know, at the beginning of this game, everyone's going to think UCLA is going to win, but BCU is just going to wreck them. All right. All right, then we got over on the South. We got Baylor and Wisconsin. Baylor is just going to crush Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not even going to get over 50 points in this game. All right, there are going to be missed throws everywhere. All right, I bet that there's going to be players flying into the stands, knocking people over. It'll be a mess.
The stands.
Another one, we got Florida and Ohio. This game is actually going to be pretty close the whole way through. The last throw of the game is actually going to miss, which lets Ohio win that game. Then we got Tennessee versus Oklahoma. This is actually going to be a tie game, which they're going to go into overtime. And Tennessee is just going to squeeze through there. All right. And then the final two teams is going to be Norfolk State, and Houston. You know, everyone thinks that, you know, Houston's going to win, and they're obviously you're gonna, because, you know, Houston's the best team. So it's going to be 100 to 128 points. This game is going to be pretty intense. Two players on the Norfolk team are going to get injured. One's going to actually have a broken ankle because one of the Houston team players jumped into his drop zone when he shot a three-pointer. And that is going to be it for my, what's this called?
March Madness bracket.
That was going to be all for my March Madness bracket. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you guys, you know, bet on some of these games because, you know, you're going to make some major bank if you follow mine. All right. Let's go back to the desk.
And we are back from sports. Thank you very much, Intern, for your analysis on March Madness that happened a month ago. Anything to add, Kyle?
No, I think he covered it all.
Okay. Really hope that that man doesn't get injured and thrown into the crowd, like our predictions were. Please don't sue us. Now we're going to go on to the moment you've all been waiting for. You know what it is. He knows what it is. We all know what it is. It's
Insult of the Day!
brought to you by...
Bye. This was an insult?
Powered by Kyle. Shahid here. Okay?
Oh, I thought you could just go that.
What is the insult of the day?
The insult of the day is one of the more simple ones today, and that is bitch.
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 Very nice. Could you please use it in a sentence?
You're a bitch.
I'm a bitch, he says. Okay.
You could use it in any way you feel like. Your mom's a bitch. Son of a bitch. Easy. Simple. Effective.
Could you please use it in past tense?
Past.
I'm just doing what they do on,
This is not a goddamn spelling bee. What, you want to spell the word out for you?
Yes.
B-I-T-C-H, bitch. You happy?
This is the whole bit. Yeah, you gotta commit to the whole thing.
I can't commit to past tense.
Yeah, you can. She was a bitch. And still is a bitch. She probably gonna be a bitch. Can you use future tense? Yeah. She's gonna be a bitch.
Present tense, please. She is still bitching.
She's still bitching. All you motherfuckers out there are bitching.
Bitch, bitch, bitch. Why is your doggy? This isn't a bitch. Go get Poppy.
Okay, and finally the definition of a bitch.
You.
Me. Definition of a bitch. Alright, Reese, go lay down.
Probably
Go.
more like
Come.
you.
Go. Go lay down, buddy. Okay, butthole. Alright, now we are going on to the next topic, which will be transgenders in sports. Thanks, Kyle, for our insult of the day.
You're welcome,
We're
bitch.
now going to go ahead and go over to transgenders in sports. We first have a article for you guys that we're going to read, and then we're going to watch a video, and we're going to talk about some more stuff on transgenders in sports. Kyle?
Okay. The issue of allowing transgender males to compete in girls' sports is continuous. There are lawsuits on behalf of biologically female athletes. States are trying to level the playing field. Bipartisan bills are being proposed in Congress and allegedly save women's sports. The issue was even discussed during a hearing for Joe Biden's education secretary. Like with a lot of things, it gets framed as a left versus right issue. Where do most Americans stand? According to a recent Politico poll with the biologically female athletes, Politico framed this as a ban on transgender athletes in women's sports. They even went so far as to label it as the Donald Trump position. Because since Donald Trump is so unpopular, goddamn, this is for Donald Trump. People who agree with him on the issue think unpopular things as well. Meanwhile, if this were just a Donald Trump position, with numbers like this, Donald Trump would still be president. There. Okay.
All right, now on to the numbers of who supported it and who opposed.
So, men, 55% of men support a ban, 29% oppose. With women, 46% support a ban, 34% oppose. With Republicans, 74% support a ban, 50% oppose. With Democrats, 40% support a ban, 42% oppose. Independents, 49% support the ban, 33% oppose. Gen Z, 43% support a ban, 40% oppose. Millennials, 56% support a ban, 28% oppose. Baby boomers, 50% support a ban, 32% oppose.
As you can see from that article and research that's been done by some companies.
It just shows random generations and random people.
Not entirely random, but, the Democrats and the Retardicans clearly have opposite views on this. But for the most part, you can see a majority of these groups do support banning transgenders from female sports specifically. This is also talking in general. There's been many discussions about maybe them having their own league entirely. However, the problem is you don't really have that many transgenders who want to play football or who want to play basketball, so there's going to be two teams, which would not be very fun to watch, just two teams just playing each other over and over and over again. That could get boring quite quickly. So that would be one issue with that as we see currently. However, we will go on to a new video now, showing 3 female athletes who are actually attempting to sue either their school or their state because they are losing out on opportunities because of transgender males to females taking their awards from them. Go ahead and play the clip.
I want to be a champion. I've been told winning isn't given. It's earned.
It takes hard work. So while you were sleeping, I was sweating.
The long nights.
The early mornings. Spending hours just to shave off seconds.
I want to be faster.
I want to be stronger. To be a better athlete. To be a champion.
I know when I step up to the line, I am the fastest girl.
But that will never be enough. This isn't about self-expression.
This is about a woman's right. My right.
To win.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very touching video. Glad to see that there is some people out there trying to put a stop to this and some legal documentations. Regardless of how you specifically feel about this, I personally don't think that it makes any sense for male to female transgenders to be partaking in female sports. Of course, some people argue, oh, well, they're getting shots of estrogen and all this other stuff, which is sure, but at the same time, you still have about 5 times the number of testosterone in your body than the average female has, which can be very problematic, especially in sports where strength is actually the stronger you are, the better. Specifically, like we could talk about football, we could talk about MMA, fighting. We can also talk about another sport very similar to football and soccer, which is known as handball. We will now go over to another video demonstrating a 6'2", 220-pound transgender male to female playing handball.
Guess which one it is.
On many occasions, this female, I believe named Hannah, has mentioned that she does not feel that she has an advantage over the other females on the team or the opposing team whatsoever. She has also mentioned that she feels like her height is a huge disadvantage to her. So what are your thoughts, Kyle, on that transgender male to female playing handball?
There's too much power behind her.
Too much power. And in that last shot that we saw, that last still picture, it has one female has her arms fully wrapped around the other, around Hannah, and another one is there pushing up against Hannah, trying to block her and stop her from moving in. You can see she is just overpowering both those women
moving
together,
with ease,
and is still able to get her hand above both of them and make the shot. Now, part of that could be just because she is so much taller, which for some reason Hannah has claimed that her height is actually a disadvantage. I don't know how height in almost any sport is a disadvantage. The only one I might see that in would be like, I don't know, maybe would be golf, just because you have to buy super long clubs. But that'd be about it. I mean, is there any other sport that you think of that height, being too tall, would be... I mean, jockeys, all right, horse racing, there you go. That's about it. You definitely don't want to be super tall in that. I mean, they literally go out and find 5 or 4'5" people that weigh 30 pounds.
Make them more aerodynamic.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I feel like height just doesn't make sense for that. Now we're going to go over to another video. This is of an interview of another male to female transgender cyclist who's going to tell us why it's actually not it's not a big deal that men are in female sports.
What, as you understand it, is their problem with you competing?
I'm legally and medically female, but the people who oppose my existence still want to think of me as male. They use the language of that I'm a man. And so there's this stereotype that men are always stronger than women. And so if you think of trans women as men, then you think there's an unfair advantage.
Sport as a human right, just explain what that means for you.
We care about the Olympics. We care about our favorite football club. We care about the Rugby World Cup. We care about sport. It is central to society. So if you want to say, well, I believe you're a woman for all of society except this massive central part that is sport, then that's not fair. So fairness is the inclusion of trans women.
Do you think you'd have been a world champion cyclist if you hadn't transitioned?
I don't think I am a world champion because I'm a trans woman. I put in the work. And again, we have to remember, I lose most of my races. I've lost against the specific cis women complaining about me being unfair.
The men's 100-metre record is 9.58 seconds. The women's is 10.49 seconds. There is an undisputable advantage for men in sport, isn't there?
We talk about men being faster than women. We have to be very careful what we're talking about. So the example you gave was at the
in speed and strength sports, they have a 10%, 12% advantage in most scientific opinions.
At the elite level, right? So when we look at the very best athletes in men and women, you see this roughly 10 to 12% gap. But if we're talking about like the average man, no, that's not true.
But when we're talking about the IOC, we're talking about the elite level, aren't we?
Of course. If you look within a single-sex event, the difference between first and eighth is very large. And the difference between first and first between sexes is often smaller than the difference between first and eighth within a sex.
So by that logic, would you not have male or female categories whatsoever?
I think that's a great question. I think that's a different question. So I think it's not fair to trans people to say, well, in order to fix whether to include you in sport, let's just radically shift how we do sport. The IOC has no appetite for that at the moment. They are fully committed to only 2 sex categories of sport.
This study by the Swedish university, the Karolinska Institute, which I know you've read closely, it does say that there's very limited change in thigh strength 12 months after transitioning and taking testosterone suppressants. Thigh strength, as you know more than anyone else, obviously a huge thing, particularly in sport, but particularly in track cycling. Do you accept that there may still be an advantage?
Is it possible? Yes. However, the range of body sizes and strength levels within a sport, you can be successful with massively different body compositions, even within my sport. So again, a British example would be Victoria Pendleton. Teeny tiny skinny legs, best in the world.
If Chris Hoy was to transition at a master's level, if he was to take testosterone suppressants for 12 months and then compete at a master's level against Victoria Pendleton, he would beat Victoria Pendleton.
Would he?
She would beat Victoria Pendleton.
Would Chris? We don't actually know that. Again, we are making this massive assumption. But
I
also,
think that's a fair assumption to make.
I don't.
You?
No, we haven't seen this in the rest of sport. So again, trans women have been allowed to openly compete since 2004, since the 2004 Olympics. Since the 2016 Olympics, you didn't require genital surgery, and we didn't see a single trans person. So it was already the case that an unscrupulous country could have taken someone like Chris Hoy and met the testosterone policy, gave him a passport for female, and said, off you go to Rio. Didn't happen. So we've already had 2 Olympic cycles where this could have happened, and it didn't. So when you ask me, well, here's this potential case, what should we do now with real people based on this potential fantasy case? That is not how human rights work.
Is this bigger than sport? Is it more important that trans women feel that they're included than to maintain a category within sport?
I think you're asking me, is like trans women inclusion more important than fairness in sport? But again, my point is that trans inclusion is fairness. It is unfair to exclude legal and medical women, trans women, from women's sport or part of society. So this is much bigger than sport in that it's the proxy for all of trans inclusion in society. Talk of bathrooms has shifted into sport by people who don't care about sport. So I think it's clear that this issue is bigger than sport.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. What was her name? Did we catch that? I didn't catch it.
No, I did not catch it.
Either way, that cyclist there believes that the number 1 cyclist, I guess his name was Chris right now, if he was to switch to transgender, she believes that Chris, the female Chris, would not just automatically win all of the races, even though he already has a minute faster cycling time than the female's fastest does. So I don't see how anybody could possibly not see that there's a huge issue there. When we're talking about a 10% advantage, what he was getting at was, I guess, or she, I don't know, she was getting at that there was a bigger gap between first and 8th place, that typically first place will come in at, around that 9-minute mark, and 8th place will come in at probably around 11 instead, which is totally possible. But when we're talking about the top 3, if the top 3 people are all within a few percentage points of each other worth of time, so if one comes in at 9:30, the other comes in at 9:32 and 9:35, and then all 3 of those people were to switch over to female, I mean, it's just the females couldn't possibly keep up. And I honestly argue that for the most part, the female times, the biological females, they would probably all increase slightly too, because they have somebody a little bit faster than them to draft off of in this particular style of racing. What are your thoughts, Kyle?
Draft off.
Yeah, you do. You draft off of them. You literally pass people on the last minute, the last straightaway, if you can.
But that would mean, because if he's a minute faster, they'll have nothing to draft off of anyway.
Well, because he's not going to be going. I honestly, if the fastest man in this cycling scenario, if the fastest man and the fastest woman were on a track and they were racing together, I honestly believe that the man would not make his 9:30 minute time. He would probably make somewhere around 10 minutes, and that's because he's going to be using the female like the female would be using him. Up until, the last lap or the last turn and straightaway, pretty much.
Yeah, probably save energy, yeah.
To save energy, and also he'd probably be pushing it hard, but at the same time, if he gets too far away from her, who knows how long He's not going to be able to pace himself, I don't think, as well without some other competition on the field. If at any point you just see somebody get out there and just blow away the entire competition at the beginning, they're probably going to burn out, midway through or at the end, right? Or they're on steroids, and then there's nothing to say
whole
about
different
that.
thing.
That's So it doesn't make sense to me, and it's. If we could probably go back and look at that guy's records from when he was a male and see that he probably was not competing at a super male level, competitive level. He was probably better than me, obviously. He was probably mid-tier professional, right, for male. And now he is closer to top-tier professional female. And we can see that because he's won those important races. Now, he's claimed that he's lost most of his races to other females, which that's fine, great. Your strategy wasn't there that day, or whatever, or you just weren't feeling it. For anybody who's run races before, any kind of things like that, you just know some days you're feeling better than others, and there's not really a particular rhyme or reason why. So to me, it doesn't make sense that somebody doesn't see that they have a biological advantage. Again, maybe there are some sports like, I don't know, tennis. Well, not tennis. I'm sorry. Ping pong, pool, certain things like that. I don't really see if there'd really be an advantage. But when we're talking about more physical or active sports where like you're running or you have to use your muscles or anything like that, I don't see how anybody doesn't see that a man is going to have a slight advantage. Not every single man. Again, we're talking about the average man versus the average female. The average male versus the average female, right? In most scenarios, I think that the average male would win, okay? And we're talking about the strictly most average male to average female. So, 160-pound male versus 120-pound female, okay? In most of those scenarios, there's not very many where I see that the female is going to come out on top. Wrestling, fighting, obviously they're not even in the same weight classes, for one. So it's just, again, one of those things.
What are the weight classes?
Oh, I don't know what the weight. I mean, there's welterweight, then there's.
It's possible it could be technically, but.
Well, I mean, welterweight I think is pretty much 90 to like 100 pounds or something like that. So super lightweight, or maybe 110, right? And then you have like your oh no, that's featherweight.
Do they change weights for certain things, or?
Yeah, so I don't know about wrestling, but I know a little bit more about MMA, but not a whole lot about their weight classes. I don't really too much care. But there's so there's featherweight, there's welterweight. I don't remember. I think featherweight's the lowest actually, and that one's probably that's probably the one that's probably like 80-ish to 100. Yeah. And then there's welterweight, and then there's lightweight, and then you got I think it's medium lightweight or something, and then medium heavy, and then heavyweight, and then super heavyweight, which is like 250 and up and stuff like that. So obviously, again, if you are in a medium weight class and you're fighting a lightweight, the MMA would never allow that. They wouldn't sanction, they wouldn't pay for a fight like that. They wouldn't put it on a pay-per-view, because the guy who's lightweight, or the person, female, whatever, doesn't matter, who's lightweight, it's not going to be good for them, and they risk bodily harm. We do this with kids as well. Okay, there's Pee-wee football, okay? It says you have to be 10 and under, but there's also a weight limit on most of those things. It's probably, I don't know what it is, but it's probably around 120, maybe 130 or 140-ish pounds, right? You have to be under that. If you're over that, the risk that you run is you run breaking a kid who's 70 pounds. If you are double someone's weight and you slam into them,
snap them like a twig.
You're gonna snap them like a twig. I mean, it just makes common sense, right? That's what we're here for. So just keep that in mind. Anything to add?
Are we just adding music now?
Oh yeah, we always add music. None copyrighted music though. Don't add that.
I'm copyrighting
that.
Oh
shit, this is all copyrighted. Get it out of here. Get it out of here.
Ah, Dell.
Dell. No. Oh boy, don't look at any of this stuff back here. Oh boy. Okay, anyways, on to the next topic. Next topic will be your zombie apocalypse survival guide. Hope to see you all next week. Like, subscribe.
Punch me in the face.
Punch him in the face. And don't forget to use the insult of the week.
Bitch.
Bitch.
It's a classic.
Catch y'all next week.
Welcome to Zombie Survival Camp. I'm Joshua. How to survive will be your most important thing during a zombie apocalypse. We're going to cover the do's and don'ts of surviving. First off, you got to find water and food. Most people can survive about a week without water and about 3 months without food. First off, you need to collect water whenever it rains as much as possible. Food can normally be found within small businesses, grocery stores, and other convenience stores. You want to try to avoid interaction with most people because you don't know who you can trust. So some people might be out to harm you and to collect your survival equipment to better off themselves, and normally will end up leaving you either without any supplies or worse, dead. When you are looking for food and water, it is better to leave a house without searching it rather than risking yourself being bitten or attacked. You want to be able to collect weapons and tools to help you in building up your base. Cardboard box forts do not help you survive. They can easily break through those and kill you. Don't push zombies because most likely they'll just grab you back and tackle you to the ground. Because they do not have to worry about getting tired or fatigued. Drinking the blood of your enemies is not a good idea. That will kill you and turn you into a zombie most likely. Don't travel to any amusement parks. It is not a wise decision. They will cause lots of noises and attract zombies to you. Don't punch zombies without the proper equipment like leather gloves or metal gloves, because they can bite through your hand and cause infection and turn you into a zombie. Kicking zombies in the balls do not help you because they cannot feel that, so therefore it will not leave them immobilized for you to run away. If your friend gets bit, it's better off just leaving them for dead or disposing of them. Sharp weapons are probably the best for you because they don't run out of ammo and they do not dull as quickly. If you were attacking a zombie, aim for the head. It is the best way to dispatch them. Drinking energy drinks and such drinks will help you stay energized and awake during the nights when you need to be vigilant. Sleeping during the day is probably the best for you, so you can be awake during the night to ward off attacks from either zombies or people. If you hear noises, it's better off not to investigate. Most likely, it's something dangerous and will cause harm to you. So those are just a few things that I've talked about, and I hope this helps you guys. And we will see you next time in our How to Survive scenarios. Have a good day.